Good evening and a very warm welcome to Sunday Live. I am your host, Dumelo Mutotwane. Now, at the launch of the departmental white paper on post-school education and training back in 2014, the Minister of Higher Education and Training, Minister Blade Nzimande, announced that all further education and training, also known as FET colleges, are to be renamed to TVET colleges, meaning technical vocational education and training colleges. Now, this change was to form part of a larger strategic overhaul of the South African post-school educational system. And since the scourge of the fees must fall student protests at universities, what role do TVET colleges provide as alternatives? Now, before we get into our discussion this evening, let's find out what some young people who are enrolled at TVET colleges had to say.
Choose it a TVET because it's got a lot of opportunities, and I can study with the bursary, and I get office administration. So the course I took me like 3 years. This is my last year, and after I have other job opportunities that the school can also give me, and then easy for me to apply anywhere else, more than university and all that. So I chose this because it's got like body practicals and theory as well. So I mean, but don't understand like theory part, and then they can relate to the practical part. So it makes it easier for adapt what we're studying and make it fun as well.
I'm a marketing student. This is my last year, level 4. So I chose a TVET college because not all of us were granted the same opportunities. I didn't have the opportunity to go finish my matric due to like situations at home. So when I heard about the TVET college that I'm currently in, it interested me because it kind of gives me the ticket to university because I want to end up.
Well, our poll question to you this evening is, are TVET colleges the answer to the high unemployment rate in South Africa? You can engage on our social media platforms. On Facebook, we are Sunday Live on SABC1. You can tweet at Sunday Live SABC1 or tweet me personally at @T_Mutotwane. And don't forget to hashtag Sunday Live SA. Well, in studio with us, of course, to take us through this discussion, we have Aruna Singh, the Director for Curriculum Development in Colleges at the Department of Higher Education. And we're also joined by Volker Wierdekant, the Research Chair at Centre for Researching Education and Labour at Wits University. And we're also joined by a studio audience to also engage with us on this topic and just take us through their opinions regarding TVET colleges. So thank you to each and every one of you for coming. Thank you so much. Welcome.
Thank you.
Aruna, we'll start with you. Let's talk about the poll question and the relevance of, TVET colleges, especially in comparison to universities. Do they sort of form part of an answer to the high unemployment rate that we have in the country?
Good evening to Melo, the studio audience, and the viewers at home. I think to speak of a total answer is a bit difficult. I think they do provide part of the answer. And as some of the students themselves mentioned in the clips that we saw, it provides opportunities sometimes beyond what they have completed, matric, and also for those who haven't completed matric. So they provide opportunities that students will not get in another institutional type. Remember, in this country, we have a limited number of institutional types. Predominantly, we know the schooling system, and once the students leave the schooling system, there's just the universities and the universities of Technikon.
Right.
The colleges have a big role to play for everybody who does not end up in a university and who, for some reason or the other, has fallen out of the school system. So colleges provide, I think, better access because they have a bigger footprint across the country, as 50 colleges and more than 260 sites of delivery. The funding system also favors students to study because the idea is to make education accessible to students because very generously funded. We all know that 80% of every student who enters a college, their tuition is already funded by the state.
And Volker, what are your sentiments on the issue, on the topic?
I think that I agree with Aruna. I think that colleges are part of a possible solution. But I think we have to be realistic about what education can do in terms of dealing with things like unemployment. It's not guaranteed that just because you get a certificate that there is a job waiting. So a lot of the issues around unemployment are not specifically education problems, they're also problems in terms of the structure of the economy,
Right.
International economic relations, and all of those sorts of things. And I think we have to be careful not to create an expectation that every person who goes to a college is now going to walk into a job.
Yeah.
If there are no jobs, then colleges are not going to be part of that solution.
Even with universities, as
Exactly.
of course, not just colleges,
Yeah.
but universities at large. Well, let's now take a look, of course, at an interview that we hosted right here on Sunday Live between President Jacob Zuma and Vuyo Mvoko. And let's hear what sentiments he had to share regarding this topic tonight.
What we have done, for an example, we are opening TVETs, more of them, because we are saying we can't have every student going to the university. They've got to learn trade. They've got to learn professions. But besides that, even those who can't pass very well, they've got to find ways where they can empower themselves professionally in one form or the other. That's a kind of tackling of the problem that is happening, that the higher education, instead of universities only, but it is also expanding colleges so that these students have places to go.
All right, well, those were the sentiments, of course, shared between an interview between President Jacob Zuma and, of course, our SABC contributing editor, Vuyo Mvoko. Aruna, let me bring it back to you. What is the difference between TVET colleges and universities? I know that, when you're in matric and you're trying to apply for further, education and training, the first institution that you think of is a university as compared to TVET colleges. But what is the difference there?
Well, Tumelo, from a learning point of view, it's about a learning pathway. That is the big difference. That is what students should consider when they are taking that decision. Universities provide essentially an academic learning pathway. So where you want to end up down the line is what the young person should be thinking about. If you want to progress academically, you are thinking of a career path, especially a professional career path, then the university is for you. But if your focus is predominantly on the workplace, you want to have a quick pathway or access to the workplace. That doesn't bar you from pursuing a career pathway, but the young person has got to be realistic where they're starting. It's a quicker pathway into the workplace, provided, of course, there are jobs available. But it focuses on occupations, on job descriptions, on practical application. So the young person is looking more to getting employed more within a shorter time frame.
Period of time, okay.
Whereas if they go to university, they accept that the academic learning is going to be longer, and there are internships in some of the professional cases,
right,
and so forth. And then, of course, there's the given that universities enjoy better status in society. Employers generally have a bias, and we must not forget that when there's a glut of graduates in the market, you're always going to take the best, whatever that best is defined as.
Yeah.
And in general, it's universities throughout the world.
Alrighty then. Well, let's
So
take
when your employers are spoiled for choice, they're going to take what's provided to them as the cream of the crop.
Interesting. Well, let's take a short break, Aruna. We're going to discuss this topic when we come back, and we're going to engage with our audience members comprising of those that have graduated, those, of course, who are also enrolled at TVET colleges, and find out from them what they think about, the comparison between universities and TVET colleges. But only right here on Sunday Live. We'll be right back. Back to Sunday Live right here on SABC One. We're talking about TVET colleges and also the effect that the latent spate of student must fall protests, of course, has on the nation, and what role TVET colleges can play, of course, to relieve those tensions. But before we get back into our discussion, let's just take a look at what, sentiments young people had to share in the country regarding our topic tonight.
I'm doing hospitality. So to me, hospitality is brainstorm in so many ways, because I'm hoping after maybe my 3-year course, I should be able to go the departments, go to the airport and find myself the flight attendant, then hopefully go to cruise shipping, hopefully the restauranting, the lodges, because like economy and the tourist, and we deal with food these nowadays. So mainly I did that because I got love for Lupe, so this is why I chose Kosi, and I'm hoping it can enable me the opportunities that are more outside, or at least from here.
I'm a student in TVET College. I decided to do marketing because I see that there's a lot of opportunities, because they even offer us for NCV courses and NATED courses, which NATED courses are the ones that after completing your matric, and NCV courses are the ones that if you don't have a matric, starting from grade 9, you can apply for them and get a certificate after you're done with your course.
I saw an opportunity to be a finance guy in a bank or any institution. I think that the TVET colleges that offer these courses do a great deal of good to our communities, because even if you don't have the money to register, you can still register for a course, and the bursary pays for you everything that needs to be paid for.
Well, that's what young people have to say, of course, regarding TVET colleges, providing an alternative, of course, compared to universities. Let me take it back to our audience members who are here with us today. Is there anyone who would like to ask a question or comment? Yes, please.
Yes, I would like to comment. My name is Bitumel Shapala. I'm from Krugersdorp West School. I studied business management there. Yes, I agree with the one for TVET. It's good because when you're there, they give you 18 months of theory. Then when you're done with your 18 months theory, there'll be people like Mr. Sebe and Tloli offering you the 18 months experience outside with the internship one. Like for instance, they gave me 18 months experience at Mohasit local municipality to pursue my practicals. Before that 18 months ended, I was permanently employed there.
Oh, interesting.
Yes.
So there are practicals and experience that come with the course and the program.
Yes.
Interesting. Thank you so much, Bitumelo. And anyone else? Can we just give the gentleman the back there?
My name is Vasco Sabela. I'd like to get back to the director when she's saying, because like the answer you asked her, it was direct, and the answer she was supposed to, it was just yes. Because if ever you're saying we need to look at the long-term goals for us, the young generation, in pursuing our studies at the college, then you mean if me going to the college, spending like 3 years studying and like a whole lot of hours studying there, then it means us going to college, it's like we guinea pigs to the universities. Then if ever we cannot qualify to go to the universities, then it's fine for us to be not accepted to the university, then we should go to the colleges, because we're not fit enough for us to foresee the future goals of us going there. So there's no point in you saying, for us, the youth, there's no point of going to the colleges, because instead of you encouraging us to go to colleges, then there's no way for you to get guys from Cuba who are like maybe architects coming to this side, having to take our jobs. If ever you have guys like your also studying engineering, and they're much more capable to do the job, rather than taking people from outside and teaching us how to do our jobs. Right. So that's it. Yeah, thanks.
Thank you so much for that comment. Let's just give the lady at the bottom there.
Hi, my name is Nelia. I would just like to comment on the statement of the director.
Right.
I heard them mentioning that colleges, they are best because they provide a quicker way to get yourself an employment. I would like to say that I think it's an opinion, it's not an fact. Because I think you can go to a university and at the end of the day, you'll be struggling to get a job while you have your degrees and everything. So I think the colleges, they help. It's not just a quicker way to get a job.
Yeah. What is your experience? Are you from college? Have you found difficulty in trying to get a job?
Pardon?
Did you find difficulty in trying to secure a job after graduating from college?
No, not exactly. Actually,
Okay.
I think I got lucky because I went to the TVET college. Then after that, I got trained at the TVET. Then I got employed at the TVET.
All right.
Yes.
Okay. Let me just give it, our director a chance to respond to those two comments posed.
Yes, Tumelo, I think it's not about the fact that students cannot go directly into the workplace. It's not to suggest that because there's a shorter period of study, comparatively speaking, that doesn't necessarily mean it's inferior. We have to understand that different qualifications and different institutions have different purposes. They are all important, and we all need them. And different students will access qualifications to suit their immediate needs.
Yeah.
Sometimes students come into the colleges not because it is their first choice, we know that. It's because of the limited spaces in the universities. But it's an excellent opportunity for further learning. And any learning is always good for a young person. If there's a chance to take up any form of learning post-matric, and certainly up to matric, every young person should take up that learning experience because it opens up the avenue to take up further learning wherever they want to in the future. And TVETs provide that as an excellent opportunity for those who have also not completed their schooling through the NCV, as one of the students mentioned. It's an excellent course to get the equivalent of a matric. It's different from the matric, but it's equivalent to a matric. And then the N courses that are there, they are post-matric. They're ideally for matriculants, and they provide a learning opportunity for students to graduate, to be employed, and then to seek further opportunities even at university should they so desire down the line.
Now, Volker, Aruna mentioned before about the different social class between universities and TVET colleges, but in your opinion, how do you think FET colleges play a role in South Africa's developmental agenda?
I think they're absolutely critical because we need a spectrum of skills if you want to grow your economy. So, for every university graduate engineer, you need 10 times that many technologists, engineering technologists, and you need 100 times that many artisans. So if you're just training the top end of the spectrum, you find that the bottom part of the pyramid doesn't hold that up.
Right.
So you have to have that spectrum of skills within the overall system. So you need both. It's not a choice between doing engineering at university or engineering at the college. They're different kinds of programs for different occupations and jobs within the labor market. Yeah. So you need to be clear, I think, as when you're applying for the institutions, what is it that you're wanting to do? Where do you see your opportunities? And then I think critically, you also want to make sure that there are possibilities if you start within one to grow in that job and then move on to another level. And I think sometimes students have found real blockages there. They think that they're going to go to the college, get a qualification, and then move on to a university one and find universities don't accept them. And there are those kinds of issues in the system that need to be sorted out.
All righty then. Well, let's take a short break, and when we come back, we're wrapping up our discussion. We'll take more comments from our audience members as well as parting shots from our panelists. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Sunday Live right here on SABC 1. We're talking about TVET colleges and asking you if you think that they have the answer to the high unemployment rate that we have in the country. Specifically also looking at the Fees Must Fall protests that have almost stopped registration processes, of course, in various universities such as UNISA, the University of Pretoria, as well as Wits University. Could TVET colleges be the space that young people need to also consider when applying for higher education? Let me take it back to our audience members. As closing remarks, is there anyone with a comment or question? Yes, gentlemen.
My name is Ricardo Otto. I'm a mechanical engineering student at Westco, and I think the FET colleges are well placed to cater for students, potential students who want to further their studies. I'm a level 4 student, and I'm still planning to continue my studies with N2. And in the now before the school opened, I applied at a wonderful company, a big company in Honeydew, Bueller Manufacturing and Training, and they actually considering to employ me. So I think the FET colleges are doing a great job, and I want to encourage the students from high school that if they don't find space at varsities, they can always come to FET colleges. And
let me take it to the lady in black and ask you, why is it only if you can't find space at university you go to TVET colleges? Can't you just apply at a TVET college if there are such amazing opportunities like the gentleman just said?
Yes, that's a very good question. I think the stigma is all wrong, that when you cannot qualify for a university, you have to come to a college. I think I'm a marketing intern. I studied marketing, and I think that personally I can take on somebody from a university. If we were to be placed in the same office, I would even probably do a better job. I don't think because I'm from a college, I'm at a disadvantage. I think we should be, the only difference is that we do not offer a lot of courses, but we are qualified and we are skilled.
Yeah. Thank you so much. All right, let me give it to the gentleman, then I'll take it to that side.
Angibonge Tumelo.
Tobel.
A good question you've asked, actually, to say. Our colleges, our TVET colleges, an alternative to universities. And then now, I think we should focus on lobbying our government institutions, lobbying the Department of Higher Education and Training itself, as to say, we must go back to basics. Look at the way our TVET colleges were introduced and marketed. They were not well marketed. That is why even today we are experiencing suicide committed by our fellow matriculants just because they didn't get an exemption to university.
True.
Forgetting that we've got TVET colleges which are there to address such issues, Tumelo. And then now, we should do away with that stigma to say our colleges are nothing compared to universities. We are products. I'm a product of the TVET sector. I am groomed by the TVET sector. I've done my qualifications in the TVET sector. I'm qualified in human resource. I'm qualified in public management. I'm qualified even in management assistant. I am a product of the TVET sector. We need to go back and look and say now, let us lobby these institutions of ours. For one to qualify for a national diploma, which requires 3 years.
Right.
In colleges, we get the theory part for 18 months. I'm in class. And then the other 18 months, I'm in the workplace getting my training or experiential training. That, at the end of the day, gives me 3 years, which is equivalent to somebody who went to varsity for 3 years for the theory part only. Myself coming out,
you have both theory and practicals.
Theory and practical.
All right.
We need to market our TVET colleges in a way that will enable or will best benefit our country.
Thank you so much, gentlemen. I have to give just one more person this side to comment. I'll give the gentleman there at the back a chance just to comment briefly, please, so we can just close off.
Good day, I'm John. Listen, I think TVET is actually a very, very, very good system because you get the practical on one side, and on the other side, you go to the workshops. And on the workshops, you've got certain lines and certain degrees that you must finish before you can carry on to the next one. So I think it's a very great thing, so that someone that is in control, like you guys and the government, should stick to it and see all of us through to the last end. Can I basically say?
Thank you for the comment. We literally have 30 seconds before we close. Your parting shots, please, briefly.
I would encourage young people to access colleges. We know there are reputational issues there, but young people must start looking at themselves as clients, must go to the colleges, ask what facilities they have, look at the quality of the practical training they offer, and whether they have work placement arrangements. And it's an excellent opportunity.
All right, thank you so much. Volker, literally 1 second, just to close.
Yeah. I think I agree. I think it's a really important thing. There are huge challenges in the system. Not all colleges are working well, but I think we have to build up that sector and make it better.
Thank you so much to our guests. Thank you so much for joining us. Unfortunately, for a lot of time. And thanks to you for joining us Friday and Sunday Live. I'll see you again next Sunday. Until then, my name is Tumelo Mototwane. Goodbye.